What if Derrick Rose never got injured? Would he win more championships, get more MVPs, perhaps beat the Heat super team with LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, maybe even the Warriors team with Curry, Clay, Draymond, and Kevin Durant? Starting at the 2010-2011 season was a transformative year for Derrick Rose. He was no longer just a rising star. He had fully arrived as one of the league's elite players. With a now experienced roster, the Chicago Bulls finished with the best record in the NBA at 62-20, an immersive feat that showcased Rose's ability to lead and elevate his team. Rose's individual growth during this season was remarkable. He became the clear leader of the Bulls, averaging 25 points, 7.7 assists, 4.1 rebounds per game. His scoring ability, combined with his leadership on both ends of the floor, made him a legitimate MVP candidate. Rose's ability to break down defenses, finishing in the paint, and hit clutch shots solidified his status as one of the most electrifying players in the league. In addition to his scoring, Rose's improvement in his shooting and decision-making stood out. His jump shot was more consistent, and he developed a deadly mid-range that kept defenders on their heels. His passing and court vision made him a constant threat, with assists coming in bunches. And with Rose's stellar play earned him the 2011 NBA MVP award, making him the youngest player in NBA history to win the prestigious honor at just 22 years old. His performances that season not only elevated the Bulls, but they also helped to bring the city of Chicago back to the spotlight. Rose became a household name, and the expectations for him and the Bulls grew. In the playoffs, the Bulls faced the Indiana Pacers in the first round. Despite some early struggles, the Bulls won the series 4-1, with Rose playing a pivotal role in every game. The second round, the Bulls against the Hawks. In this series, Rose continued to shine, leading Chicago to a 4-2 victory and securing a spot in the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since 1998. However, in the Eastern Conference Finals, the Bulls faced the Miami Heat, a team with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. The series was incredibly competitive, but the Heat ultimately proved to be too much for the Bulls, with Miami winning 4-1. Despite the early exit, Rose's performance throughout the season, including his playoff run, reaffirmed his status as one of the game's best. The 2011-2012 season was a continuation of Derrick Rose's rise to superstardom. Coming off his MVP season, he entered the year with even more expectations. The Chicago Bulls once again finished with the best record in the Eastern Conference, despite challenges with injuries and absence of key players like Joakim Noah for portions of the season. Rose, however, continued to play at a high level, averaging 27.8 points and 9 assists per game. This was the season where Rose's leadership and ability to carry the Bulls through tough stretches became even more evident. While the team's success largely came from a balanced attack and strong defense, Rose was the go-to player in clutch moments. His ability to break down defenses, hit timely shots, and keep the Bulls in games without a true second superstar was a testament to his greatness. As the Bulls entered the playoffs, Derrick Rose and his teammates had their eyes on the ultimate goal, an NBA championship. In the first round, the Bulls faced the Philadelphia 76ers, a team that had shown promise but was ultimately outmatched in terms of talent. In a devastating turn of events,
you wanted us. You were crying out that you bypassed the harder team in Miami Heat.
Rose came down bad on his left foot. See him holding onto his knee and down. Now, whether it was an ankle or a knee, I do not know.
he never gets injured. Rose never sustains the injury. He played through the playoff, helping the Bulls advance through the second round and eventually facing off against the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. While the injury never occurred, Chicago faced a tough battle against Boston, with the Celtics' veteran core of Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen proving to be formidable. Rose led his team through an intense 7-game series, playing one of the most brilliant stretches of basketball in his career, averaging 37 points and 7 assists per game, and the Celtics managed to knock off the Bulls at the last second, sending Rose home early. The 2012-2013 season was a pivotal one for Derrick Rose. Coming off his MVP year and fully recovered from the 2011-12 season, Rose was ready to take on the next phase of his career. Chicago roster remained strong with key contributors like Joakim Noah, Carlos Boozer, and the emergence of Jimmy Butler as a defensive force. Rose's confidence was back, and the team's chemistry was solid. Rose led the Bulls to another strong season, finishing with 50 and 32 despite some challenges along his way. His numbers were impressively 27.5 points and 7.2 assists per game and 4.3 rebounds per game. However, it wasn't just his offensive skills that impressed. Rose's defense had improved, making him even more well-rounded. While Rose was the unquestionable leader of the group, the Bulls also had a balanced approach, with Noah playing great defense, Butler evolving into a key two-way player, and Boozer and Deng contributing consistently. With Rose in full health, the team offense became more fluid and dynamic. The Bulls were back as title contenders. In the playoffs, the Bulls faced the Brooklyn Nets. In the first round, Rose's experience and leadership helped Chicago easily overcome the Nets, winning the series 4-1. The second round saw the Bulls face off against the New York Knicks, who were led by Carmelo Anthony. The Knicks proved to be a tough challenge, but Rose's ability to dominate in key moments was the difference. Chicago won the series 4-2, and they advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals. Here, the Bulls would meet the defending champion Miami Heat once again. This time, however, things were different. With a fully healthy Rose, Chicago was more prepared to take on LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. The series was a fierce back and forth, but in the end, despite Rose's incredible play, the Heat were too much. Miami won the series 4-2, advancing to the finals. In the 2013-14 season, Derrick Rose entered with a renewed sense of optimism. After a lengthy period of recovery, this was his chance to return to full form and lead the Bulls to their first championship since the Michael Jordan era. Rose, still in his prime, averaged 24 points and 7 assists per game. His scoring remained dynamic, and he became a more versatile offensive player. However, it wasn't just about him. The team had become more well-rounded thanks to key additions and growth from young players like Jimmy Butler and Taj Gibson. The Bulls finished the regular season at 49 and 33, and the balance between offensive efficiency and strong defense helped them secure a top seed in Eastern Conference. Chicago's defense remained one of the league's best, led by Joakim Noah, while Rose's playmaking kept the offense humming. In the playoffs, Chicago matched up against the Toronto Raptors. Rose, fully healthy and confident, delivered clutch performances to secure a 4-1 in the series. The team's defense shut down the Raptors' offense, and Rose's experience in high-pressure situations showed, but the real challenge awaited in the next round. The Bulls faced off the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Once more, in a dramatic 7-game series, Chicago pushed the Heat to the brink. Rose played with the intensity and fearlessness that he had shown during his MVP season. His ability to get to the rim, hit big shots, and control the tempo of games kept the Heat on the edge. However, despite Rose's brilliance, the Heat managed to pull through with a hard-fought series, advancing to the finals. The 2014-15 season saw Derrick Rose returning with more focus than ever. D. Rose was ready to lead the Chicago Bulls to greatness. With a chip on his shoulder after the setback, he was ready, averaging 24 points and 7 assists, and the Bulls finished with a strong 50 and 32 record. This year, the team's growth was on full display, with Jimmy Butler breaking out as a legitimate two-way player and Paul Gasol providing veteran leadership. The addition of Gasol to the front court added much-needed depth and experience. The Bulls' defense remained one of the best in the league, but it was Rose's playmaking that made the offense more dynamic. With Rose distributing the ball, Chicago's offense flourished in ways they hadn't in previous seasons. Chicago entered the playoffs with high hopes, as their first-round matchup was against the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bulls took care of business in Game 1, but the Bucks were a scrappy team, pushing the series to 6 games. Rose's ability to keep his team composed and perform in clutch moments helped them secure a 4-2 victory. In the Eastern Conference semifinals, the Bulls faced the Cleveland Cavaliers, a team that had added LeBron James back to their roster. Rose's rivalry with LeBron James took center stage, and the games were filled with dramatic moments. Chicago's defense kept the Cavaliers' offense in check for most of the series, but Cleveland's firepower proved to be too much in the end. Despite Rose's fantastic efforts, which included a 31-point performance in Game 4, the Cavaliers won the series 4-2, advancing to the finals. The 2015-2016 season marked a turning point for Derrick Rose and the Chicago Bulls. Rose wanted to be back to his MVP level form. He averaged 18 and 5.4 assists per game, showing flashes of brilliance throughout the year. The team finished with a 42-40 record. Not quite as dominant as previous years, but still very much a playoff contender. The Bulls found themselves facing the Boston Celtics in the first round of the playoffs. Despite strong showing from Rose and key performances from Butler, the Bulls struggled with consistency. Rose's leadership kept them in the fight, but overall, the superior team, outlasted Chicago, and they were eliminated 4-2. In 2016-17, Derrick Rose was traded to the Houston Rockets in a blockbuster deal that sent Chris Paul and several draft picks to Chicago. The move to Houston was a game changer as Rose paired up with James Harden to form one of the most dynamic backcourt duos in NBA history. With Rose at the helm alongside Harden, the Rockets offense was taken to new heights. Rose, known for his explosive speed and playmaking, thrived under Mike D'Antoni's fast-paced system. Harden, already one of the top players in the league, saw his efficiency soar, with Rose drawing defense attention and facilitating open shots. The two stars quickly developed chemistry, and the Rockets' offense became one of the most unstoppable forces in the NBA. The addition of Rose made Houston an even more potent threat to the defending champion Golden State Warriors. During the regular season, the Rockets finished with a league-best 65-17 record, surpassing Golden State and setting the stage for an epic playoff battle. The Rockets' first test came in the Western Conference Finals, where they faced off against the Warriors, a team led by Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. The Warriors had been dominant in recent years, but the combination of Rose and Harden proved to be a unique challenge. Rose's speed and aggression off the dribble were the perfect counter to Golden State's defense, while Harden's elite shooting and playmaking kept the Warriors on their heels. In a thrilling 7-game series, the Rockets outlasted the Warriors in a series for the ages. Rose was playing some of the best basketball of his career, stepped up in pivotal moments, including a 34-point performance in Game 6. In the NBA Finals, the Rockets faced the Cleveland Cavaliers, who were led by LeBron James and a supporting cast that included Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. However, Rose and Harden proved to be an overwhelming duo for the Cavaliers. The Rockets' offensive firepower, combined with a solid defense, neutralized Cleveland's strength. Houston dominated the series, and Rose played a key role in a 4-1 victory over the Cavs. His ability to drive the lane and create plays for his teammates and hit clutch shots helped the Rockets secure the NBA championship. The 2017-2018 season was all about solidifying the Rockets as a true dynasty. Derrick Rose, coming off his most successful season, continued to dominate alongside James Harden. With Houston maintaining its high level of play, the Rockets once again finished with the top record in the league, this time 61-21. Rose, now fully established as one of the league's top point guards, averaged 22.5 points per game and 7 assists per game. His leadership continued to sharpen the team's success. The offense remained explosive, with Rose and Harden orchestrating one of the most efficient offenses in the NBA. The Warriors were gunning for revenge after last season's loss, but Rose's presence on the court made all the difference. With renewed confidence, the Rockets took on Golden State in the Western Conference Finals once again. While the Warriors were still formidable, Houston's balance of defense and explosive offense proved to be too much for them to handle. Rose, now more experienced and focused than ever, stepped up in critical moments, including a 40-point performance in Game 5, securing the Rockets a place in the NBA Finals for the second year in a row. The Rockets' opponents in the finals were the Boston Celtics, who had been a dominant dominant force in the East, led by Kyrie Irving and the emerging Jason Tatum. While the Celtics gave Houston a strong challenge, the Rockets' experience and firepower were too much to handle. Houston claimed the series in 6 games, with Rose playing another pivotal role in sealing the championship with an MVP-worthy performance. He averaged 28, 7, and 4 rebounds in the finals, including hitting crucial shots in Game 6 to close out the series. The 2018-2019 season. After back-to-back championships, the league saw the Houston Rockets aiming for a 3rd straight title. Derrick Rose, now 30, continued to play at an elite level, averaging 21.5 points, 6.8 assists. His experience and maturity were invaluable. With Houston's continuing to dominate in the Western Conference, Rose's ability to adapt his game, utilizing his basketball IQ and leadership, became even more apparent as he helped guide the Rockets through another grueling playoff run. The team finished the season with a 60-22 record. In the Western Conference Finals, the Rockets met the Golden State Warriors once more. This time, the Warriors were not at full strength as the injuries had taken a toll on their roster. Rose and Harden took full advantage, combining their offensive performance and defensive presence that ultimately overwhelmed Golden State in a 6-game series. In the NBA Finals, the Rockets faced a new challenger, the Toronto Raptors, led by Kawhi Leonard. Toronto's defense and Leonard's two-way play created a difficult matchup for Houston, but Rose's veteran leadership was key in overcoming the challenge. The Rockets won the series in 5 games, securing their 3rd straight title, a three-peat. 2019-2020 season was a pivotal role for Derrick Rose and the Houston Rockets. As Rose entered his 31st year, the wear and tear of years of intense play began to show. However, his leadership and savvy playmaking remained at an elite level. Houston finished the regular season 57-25, but the team faced increasing competition from both the Lakers and the Clippers in the West. In the Western Conference Finals, the Rockets met the Los Angeles Lakers, led by LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Rose and Harden continued to be a dynamic duo, but the Lakers' size and LeBron's playmaking proved to be too much, despite a valiant effort from Rose, who averaged 23.5 points and 6.5 assists during the playoffs. The Rockets were eliminated in a tough 6-game series. The 2020-21 series marked the twilight of Derrick Rose's time with the Houston Rockets. At 32, Rose's game had slowed, but his impact as a leader and mentor remained vital. Houston, now facing challenges from an increasingly talented West, finished with a 48-34 record. Rose's scoring and playmaking remained solid, averaging 18.5 points and 5.6 assists per game, but the team fell short of a championship contention. The Rockets met the Los Angeles Clippers in the first round of the playoffs, but despite a strong series from Rose, the team couldn't overcome Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. The Rockets were eliminated in 6 games, signaling the end of their championship window. The 2021-2022 season marked the beginning of Derrick Rose's final years in the NBA. At 33 years old, Rose's role with the Rockets shifted from the star player to a veteran leader, with his physical decline becoming more apparent. Rose became a valuable asset as a mentor to younger players, especially point guard prospects. His leadership, basketball IQ, and calming presence in the locker room were crucial. Even as his scoring dipped to around 14 points per game, the Rockets finished with a 40-42 record and were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs by the Golden State Warriors. In his final season, Derrick Rose's role continued to evolve, transitioning fully into a mentor and a supporting veteran presence. For the younger Rocket players at age 34, he played sparingly, contributing to around 10 points and 3 assists per game. The Rockets, now fully focused on rebuilding with a younger roster, did not make the playoffs, finished with a 32-50 record. Rose officially announced his retirement after the season, leaving behind a legacy as one of the NBA's most resilient and electrifying point guards ever to grace the court.